Okay, 8.5, doing slope-intercept form, second half, part 2. Now today, the part that you're going to learn is, yesterday we were rearranging and we would get the slope. The slope is always the variable, or the coefficient to what? The slope is always the coefficient of x. Exactly. So whatever, after we rearranged it and got it into slope-intercept form, y equals that mx plus b. Whatever was with x was our slope. Whatever we ended up out here with was our what? Hello, what was that? Yes, thank you. This was our y-intercept. And whatever was with x was our slope. Now today I'm going to show you how to find a parallel slope and a perpendicular slope. You won't have to graph the parallel and perpendicular slopes, but you have to know how to find it for the test and quiz. Now, right here is a set of parallel lines. Parallel lines have equal slopes. Is their y-intercept equal? Do they cross the y-intercept at the same place? Yes or no? No. If they did, it would be the exact same line. But they have the same slope. In order for them to be exactly parallel, they have to have the same slope. And they're telling me my slope is 2. Is that correct? Let's see, where does it, let's find another one. So if it's 2, that's the same as 2 over 1. Exactly, 2 over 1. So start here, I'd go to the right, what? 1 and up 2. Right 1, up 2. Right 1. Okay, so that one does work. That does have a slope of 2. Start at the y-intercept here. Does this one have a slope of 2? Right 1, up 2. Let's go backwards. Left 1, down 2. Perfect. They are parallel because they both have a slope of 2. So if I want the parallel slope, I use my parallel lines, unless you want to write out parallel. It's up to you. Parallel slope equals what? If this has a slope of 2, the parallel slope would be 2. They're equal. Now we go here. Now we're talking perpendicular. Now they don't run parallel to each other. Now they intersect each other. But their intersection, when they intersect, has to make a what? In order for them to be perpendicular, it has to make a what?
90-degree angle.
Exactly. They have to have a 90-degree angle where they intersect. Okay, so that tells me they're perpendicular because they show me with their 90-degree angle there that these lines are perpendicular. Whenever you have perpendicular slopes, say I have this line, you have to have fill this in, what's that say? The negative reciprocal. So if my slope here is 2, my slope equals 2, what is its perpendicular slope going to equal? Well, it's not going to be the equal, it wouldn't be a 2. It'd be a 2 if it was what? Parallel. All right, now we're talking perpendicular. So what you need to do, this is easy if you listen to this right now and don't space it out, all right, because it's a simple thing. A negative reciprocal. You all know what reciprocal is. A reciprocal is what? Yep, you flip it over. Well, wait a minute, I have a 2. How do I flip a 2 over? Right, that's the same as a 2 over 1, right? So its reciprocal is what?
1/2.
1/2. And now, it's not just a reciprocal, it is a negative reciprocal. So now we don't have 2 over 1, we have the reciprocal 1 over 2. And this is positive, so this one has to be negative. If this would have been a negative 2, what would have our perpendicular slope been? A positive 1 over 2. Find the slope of a line that has the given relationship to the line with the equation right there. Can I tell what my slope is right away? No, why not? It's not in form. What kind of form? Sounds like function form or?
Slope intercept form.
Yes, slope intercept form. Sounds like, looks like, I felt like I was playing Pictionary. Okay, so I'm writing this and I want you to write it off to the side as well. 5x plus 2y equals 10. What's the first thing I need to do? Exactly. Minus 5 what?
X.
Minus 5x. Minus 5x. So that takes care of it over here. I've got what left over here?
2y.
2y equals, do I put my 10 first or my negative 5x first?
Negative 5x.
Right, put my negative 5x first and then my
Plus 10.
plus 10. Am I done?
No.
No, what do I do? Final
By
step.
2.
Divide everything by 2. Now I have y equals
Negative 5 over 2. X plus 5.
Agreed?
Yes.
So I want to just leave this a negative 5 over 2x, right? And then what does this part turn into? Plus 5. Now we have it in our function form or slope-intercept form. Now let's list, because this is on your worksheet, what you're going to have to do for these then, after if it's not a graphing one, if I say don't graph, maybe you have to graph it also. Your worksheet will tell you. But they'll say find its perpendicular slope, find its parallel slope. No matter what it asks for, I want you to find both of them today. It's good practice. So once you get it rearranged, I want to know what is your parallel slope going to be? We'll do the easy one first. What will the parallel slope to this equation be? What's the slope of this equation?
5 over 2.
Close.
2 over. Oh.
Negative.
So
My
negative
slope
2
is
over-
a negative 5 over 2, so what's the parallel slope?
Negative 2 over 5.
No, the parallel one is exactly the same, so it is a negative 5 over 2. It's exactly the same. For the parallel, we just rewrite it. To have a parallel line, it has to have exactly the same slope. It's not going to be a plus 5, it might be a negative 2 or 0 or 1, because it'll cross the y at a different place. But it has to have the exact same slope, so they run parallel to each other. Then you need to do the perpendicular one, the negative reciprocal. What do I do? What do I do to my slope and my parallel slope? First thing you want to do is flip it, and I get what? 2 over 5, and now I have to take it by negative 1. We want the negative reciprocal, so you take this times a negative 1. So if this is a negative, this one has to be
Positive.
exactly. Now we're done. Question?
I have no idea how to do this. It's still not.
Okay, well, let's practice another one. Oh, do I have to even rearrange this one?
No.
Absolutely not. It's already in function form, slope-intercept form. So, what is my parallel slope?
Negative 5.
What's my parallel slope, Isabel? Well, tell me what my slope is first of this.
Negative 5.
Okay, if my slope is a negative 5, the parallel slope is also a
Negative 5.
negative 5. We're done with that one. We're done with the parallel one. Now let's do the perpendicular slope. I need the negative reciprocal. The first thing we need to do is what? Flip it. How do I flip a negative 5?
1 over 5.
How do I flip a 5? There's nothing under it. Isabel, what do I do? Okay, that's like putting a 1 under it, so it's like a negative 5 over 1, right? How do I flip that? So I get what?
1 over 5.
Okay, I flip it, I get a 1 over 5. Will this be a positive or a negative? A positive, because it has to be the opposite of what the parallel one is. So we leave it as a positive. We're done. Okay, rearrange this one. I'll give you a second to rearrange and then we'll compare it. All right, we need to rearrange this.
That's like a little fun.
Logan, what's the first thing I need to do to rearrange this?
Plus,
Put negative 2x.
Yes. Make it a negative 2x, so minus 2x to both sides. So now I have a negative 3y left here. How many remembered to bring the negative sign down? Good. Equals what? What comes right behind the equal sign? Jordan. Manny, what do I have to put right behind my equal sign?
X.
What kind of x?
Negative 2x.
Yep, I need to put my negative 2x right behind the equal sign. Then what? Keely.
Plus 6.
And then I put plus 6. Now the final step, Brianna, I do what?
Divided by 3.
Divide everything by what?
Negative 3.
Yes, by a negative 3. Y equals, what does this turn into?
2 over 3 x.
Positive or negative 2 over 3?
Positive.
Okay, 2/3 x. And then this turns into
Negative 2.
negative 2. So there we go. Parallel slope equals what? 2/3. It's exactly the same. The perpendicular, let me see. Bethany, what would I get from my perpendicular? A negative 3 over 2. She flipped it and the signs are opposite. Perfect. Questions?
That's all.
That's easy.
Your assignment, worksheet 8.5. You will have some graphing just like you did with your groups today and some of these.